Y'all, hi, what up? What up? What up? It's your boy. It's your boy. And I just wanted to take this time out. Shout out to my shout out to homie from Ticket TV. This was brought to my attention by you. Um, Today, uh, I saw a video that you posted or whatever, and for the first time out of all the videos, the hundreds of videos I watched for you, really for the first time, I actually didn't see where you had a point. It was the video about OJ. But I digress. I didn't really see your point because people are saying that he's guilty, but theoretically, the man um, basically, it's not slander. The guy went on TV and actually, if you listen and watch that interview, he actually did confess. He was speaking hypothetically and completely forgot that he was speaking hypothetically. Um, and went on to tell a story that actually made a whole lot of sense for the sequence of events. Um, Probably a story that crossed my mind and I thought really happened anyway. Nevertheless, nevertheless, um, he really it's not slander. Those are his words, so you can't. People made judgments based on his words. Never mind just because the um, courts or the 12 people in the jury said that he wasn't or found him not guilty doesn't mean that he didn't actually do it. And especially when people's judgments now are coming off of his words, his own words. It sounded like a confession to me. So, I mean, and he's free to do that. He's gotten away with it. He can't be retried for it. And especially the fact that the second time around when he went to jail, they really put him in jail for that much time, for that amount of time, because of the fact that he had gotten away with murder, or the general conception that he had gotten away with murder. So that's the first video. I saw earlier this morning, and I watched it, and I really didn't agree with you. And that's the first video I've ever saw of yours that I didn't agree with or see a point that you were making. Now, just watched another one of your videos though. I completely agree with you on that one. Um, let's see. Let me go back to that first video. OJ was completely stupid to even give a video like that. Like, everybody has said this. If you did it and you got away with it, sit your ass down. If you didn't do it, sit your ass down. Regardless of which way, sit your ass down. Why would you write this book and then go on TV and do this interview? It was utterly ridiculous for you to even do that. In other words, to shun people and say, yeah, I did it. Remember, this interview was done back in 2006. About approximately 10 years after, a little more than 10 years after it happened. But, nevertheless, it was stupid. It was a stupid thing to do. Second video, where you were talking about OJ saying something about Colin Kaepernick's protest. What did you expect? I would ask you that. What did you expect? If you watch the ESPN 30 for 30 30 for 30 thing, the lawyers told you that they went in OJ's house and he had no pictures of his black friends up. All the pictures that he had in his house were pictures of all of his white buddies. And when it was time for them to go in the house and do some investigating, they took all of those pictures down and put pictures of him up with black friends. So I would ask people who are up in arms at the mere comment that he made, are you surprised? Are you really surprised that he says he doesn't support the protest that went on in the NBA in the NFL behind Colin Kaepernick and that he doesn't understand that the whole protest wasn't about the flag. Because for the most part, if you look at it, mostly it's black people who understand the protest. And OJ has been on the record as saying, I'm not black. I'm not white, I'm OJ. He's been on the record of saying that. Meanwhile, when it was time for him to go to court, all of a sudden he was looking for the black people to rally for him, which was ultimately the reason that he probably got off the charge. So, are you really surprised now that that's his stance on it? He's out of trouble. He's in the system. He's on parole or whatnot, but he's out of trouble. So, what did you think he was going to do? Go stick with being black? No, sir. No, sir. And when they talking about number 45 on the video, they're not talking about OJ. OJ was number 32. They're talking about Mr. Trump, the 45th president of the world. Just a little correction. But I fucks with you, my man. And I love your videos. I love your input. But you felt it almost came across as if you felt like backstab because he said that. But you shouldn't be surprised. I would guess that you are around our age, and just off the stuff that you were saying earlier, that you're around my age and you understand the deal, what was going on with that whole situation. And for the most part, I don't think black people wanted him to get off because we thought he was innocent. We just felt like he was being railroaded because he was black. We thought that a lot of that shit was planted. I think in most of our minds we knew he had done it, or at least had something to do with it. But you got to understand that when he told his story, his so-called hypothetical story, it actually fucking made sense. So it's like, it actually makes sense as far as how he could kill two people, being that maybe the wife didn't think that he would do anything to her as he was doing shit to him. As he was killing him, the wife who had been with him and had two of his kids, she didn't think he would kill her. And she was wrong. So, in conclusion, I would like to say it's not slander. He's getting exactly what he deserves for doing that stupid ass interview. As far as those judgments and all of this stuff, and I sit here and I really try not to judge him, but that's just as stupid as even the second incident where you said the second incident where you said you don't think he should have went to jail for that. He kidnapped somebody, dude. And when you do something with a weapon and you force people not to leave, that's kidnapping. Should he have gone to jail for 33 years? Probably not. I don't think so. Should he have gotten a sentence for 33 years? No, he probably should have got about maybe 7 or 8 years and been out of jail in 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years, do half of it. But he should have gone to jail because those people acquired that stuff however they acquired it, and it was taken from him. So, like I said, I mostly agree with the stuff that you be talking about when it comes to sports and when it comes to these stars and all of this stuff. But that first video that I saw this morning, I didn't agree with. The second one I agreed with, but if you were shocked, I don't agree with the fact that you were shocked that would be his stance. So that's all I got. I think a lot of people didn't understand that Jay-Z track, where the OJ song or whatever. That's what he was saying. It's like OJ actually said those words back in the 70s sometime when he was trying to distance himself from civil rights movements and things like that. So those are his words. And then fast forward to the 90s when he felt like he needed our support and he was black again. So it's just a flip-flopping thing. He's just flip-flopping and going back and forth. I'm not shocked. I hope at this point now he basically just sits the fuck down and relax and chill out and live out the rest of his days. Stop causing all this controversy and really stop talking. Stop talking. Like, you had the right to talk about this stuff before you ended up in that shit. He was a NFL commentator for NBC before that happened. And I don't think you have the right to, I don't think you should be speaking on stuff like this because nothing Colin Kaepernick did compares to anything that you did. And what the shit that he did was a violation of the flag. That's all I got. Show off.